everybody, and welcome to Kyrus Has Friends, the show where I sit down with the people that matter to me the most, and those people are my friends. Before we get started today, please be sure to follow me on your favorite social media platforms. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Vibe with Kai. You can also follow me on TikTok and on Snapchat at Kyrus Keenan. And if you want, visit my website, thevibewithkai.com, where I'm always posting blogs and videos and reviews and things that'll help you do good, feel good, be good, and live a good life full of good vibes. But enough about me. Enough about me and my nonsense. I'm sitting here with a good person, a person that is from Denver, Colorado. Are you from Denver, or you just live in Denver?
Actually, my dad was in military, so I moved.
Got it. Yeah. So, and I spent some time in Denver earlier this year.
Yeah.
He is the host of the What's Your And podcast. He is the author of What's Your And: Unlock the Person Within the Professional. And he was actually named one of the top 100 most influential people by Accounting Today. I was sitting here with the wonderful gentleman, John Garret. John, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, thanks so much, Kai. I appreciate it.
Do you like that intro? Do you like that intro? I'm building you up. Don't let people down.
No, this is good. I mean, just being your friend is building me up enough. Like, good God.
Well,
what more do I need?
So this is how it works, John. At the end of this interview, that's when I decide whether we're actually friends or not. So this is all it's all a test. That's all this is.
I'm from the future. I already know.
Oh, perfect. Okay, that works out perfect.
I'm passing already.
You pass already. You already know what's coming, so it's all good. So hey, John. So before we get into all of the stuff that you do, just from human being to human being, pandemic world, 2020 has been quite the interesting year. How are you holding up?
Yeah, man, it's been tough. It has, I mean, my business is a lot of speaking at conferences and, keynote speaking at executive retreats and all staff events and things where people gather. And, I was at the forefront of everything closed. My business shut down before restaurants shut down. People were still eating at restaurants when my conferences were being canceled. So, it was brutal.
That's when you're supposed to just walk into the dining room and just give your speech there. And whoever wants to listen,
exactly.
Whoever wants to listen will listen.
Exactly. Nobody wants it. Go back to my comedy days where it's like, hey, can you turn the mic down? We're trying to watch a football
game. You get your red light. It's like, okay, let's wrap this up. Let's go.
Exactly. And I mean, it was brutal, because I mean, everything that you do is all of a sudden just ripped away with no warning. I mean, zero warning. And then it's like, wow. And, and a lot of people, a lot of my friends, it's like, well, I just worked from home. Yeah. You're still getting a salary. You're still getting, all that. And it's still difficult. I mean, maybe your spouse was furloughed, but you got kids that you have to, teach. Luckily, my wife and I, well, not luckily, I guess, but in this case, luckily, we don't have kids to have to homeschool. But yeah, I mean, it really messes with your psyche where it's, what you do is now just gone.
Yes.
And so, yeah, so, it did a little bit of soul searching. I equate it to kind of like being on in the ocean on a boat. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, some tidal wave just wrecks your boat.
Right.
And so first step is not die. So,
you know what? That's usually, even before COVID, I have to say, that's my motto in life. Don't die.
That's a good motto, man. That's a good motto. But it's just not drowned. So get to the surface, catch your breath, and then, find where land is and then swim that way. And then eventually you'll get there and then you can dry out and whatever. Yeah, so it was a little bit tough, but, making it through it. And coming out the other side is really great, especially with the book coming out and stuff. So
Yeah. And that was that's actually one of the very first questions that I had, was because you travel so much for your job, going and giving these speeches and talking with so many people. And then all of a sudden, this tidal wave, as you said, comes up and just kind of like flips your life around. And like, I think everybody at this point has a story about how their life has changed in 2020. So do you feel that because of how things have been going this year for you and just in general in society, when you come out of this, when we all come out of this, do you personally feel that you are in a better place now? Or are you going to try to go back to the way things were before? Are you going to try to find that old normal, or are you going to kind of adjust and go with the new normal here?
Well, I definitely will find a balance between the two.
Hmm.
I've done some of the virtual presenting now and, things like that,
Hmm.
but they suck. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
it's not
hard.
as
It's
good,
different.
man. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
some of them are such a big audience that I don't even see or hear any
Right,
reaction.
right, right.
And
And
so,
there's sometimes they're playing with their dog, or they're not really paying attention. They're working on other
yeah,
stuff or whatever. Yeah, and you don't see that
exactly.
there's nothing that beats the feeling of a live audience,
Right.
where you're face to face and you can see them and you see them see you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. And like sometimes I wonder if I'm insane. Like I'm talking to this camera, like I don't even know if anyone's even on the other side. Like
right,
I could just
right,
be talking to myself in a room.
right,
And
right,
but it's cool because I've been able to draw on my, comedy and entertainment and TV
hmm,
background
right,
to where that does come in handy because not everybody has that experience
hmm,
that I do. So,
right, right,
it's kind of going with that. But yeah, I do think that humans want to be around each other. I mean,
right,
we're an interactive group, so we want
hmm,
to see and hear and touch and be around
right,
others, we want to have that experience.
right,
um,
right.
and so people are going to want that sooner than later,
I agree.
not only in the office setting but in events and conferences and things like that. I understand not everyone will,
Right.
but I'm going to say 95% of us do.
Absolutely, I
And
agree.
so
It's funny. It's funny that you bring up, because I gave a keynote address for a meeting yesterday, like a virtual conference yesterday, and like
yeah,
what's funny, this was my first, because I would do the same thing. Like I would go around and travel and give
yeah,
talks and stuff, and like I also use humor, like just to kind of like keep it
right,
interesting and all that. There's nothing more awkward than
no,
like telling a joke in one of your speeches and being like, I hope they're laughing, because like they're all on
yeah,
mute. They're all on mute.
exactly,
So like you're just
yeah,
like, you tell your joke and then you're just like looking around the screen. You're like, I think oh, that person's smiling. Okay, that person's
right,
smiling. Okay, I think they laughed at
yeah.
my joke.
Yeah, right, exactly. Or some of the ones where you're not even able to see because it's
Right.
too big of an audience. And so you're like, well, whatever. It's like you're a radio DJ all of a
Right.
sudden,
Right.
where you say stuff and then, oh, well, I don't know if people listening in their cars are laughing or not,
Right.
but
Right.
you just act like they are and
It's
keep
like
going.
I saw Tony Robbins. He has like this, because obviously he has just money, right? But he
Right,
has like this
right.
gigantic, like big, like IMAX screen where whenever
Yeah,
he's giving one of his speeches, you can see like he can see like millions of people just like on these like little
wow.
teeny tiny screens, and like
Yeah,
they're, and his tech crew can like expand people's things so he can have
wow.
conversations with them.
Yeah, yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm like, do you have a Zoom? Please tell me you have a Zoom. I hope you have a Zoom.
Right, right. Exactly. Or even a webcam.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
good God. It's yeah, but I'm excited for things now are starting to open up. Companies
Yes.
are starting to realize like that they really need to invest in these events because
Yes.
you can't just mail it in on this.
Right.
Live, you can mail it in a little bit. It's still not great, but you
Right.
can get away with that. But virtual, I mean, the alternative is TV. I
Yeah.
mean, we're all watching TV
Right.
while we're doing these webinars and these conferences,
Right.
and so people need to understand that like you need to bring some production value to this.
Amen. Hmm.
The cool thing with virtual is we could be anywhere. You
Right.
drop a green screen, we're on the moon now, or we're
Exactly.
flying,
Right.
or wherever you want to be.
Right.
And so you can make it whatever you want it to be. And so it's working with companies just to step outside that comfort zone a little bit and be creative
Hmm.
to create an experience for the attendee.
Right.
It's different, but it's still creating that experience versus the live
Absolutely.
experience. Yeah.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I saw on your website and just my research about you is that you call yourself a culture consultant, right? For
Yeah.
businesses around the country. What tell me what that entails and how you actually go about helping businesses.
Yeah. So basically, it's kind of what the book's about is just building your culture around your true differentiator, which is not your people, but your people's outside of work passions and personalities.
Hmm.
So many leaders say, well, my differentiator is my people, but it's not the technical skills,
Right.
because I can take your department and take everyone out and replace them with people that have the same college degrees and skills, and the work gets done the same,
Right.
but it's a completely different department.
Right.
And it's not because of the technical skills, it's because of the personalities of the people there and their outside of work interests and passions. So I work with organizations to build that culture around what I call your culture core, which is your people's outside of work passions.
Right.
And so how do you shine a light on that? How do you celebrate that? How do you get people to share those? How do you just have a genuine interest in those things that truly light people up?
Right.
You know, for so long, professionalism has told us that, you know, you shouldn't have an outside of work thing because you should use those extra hours to get better at work.
Right.
And if you have an outside of work thing, then you damn well better not talk about it, because then
Right.
people are
Right.
going to judge you, or you're not very dedicated or whatever. And all of those things are complete lies, and they couldn't be more wrong. So my research, as well as research from Duke and Northwestern, that kind of dovetails with what I'm doing, all shows that it makes you a better professional
Right.
to have these outside of work interests and then
Do
share
you
them.
do you find that, since, because like obviously everything now is just being, curtailed around pandemic life, right? Do
Yeah.
you find that businesses and companies and organizations in general in 2020 are doing an okay job at still finding ways to improve their culture virtually? Or do you think that's still, like, that's just a big struggle that businesses have right now?
Well, I think they're doing an okay job.
Hmm.
They're not great at it, that's
Hmm.
for sure. And I think what happened is a lot of organizations thought we have a great culture because we pass each other in the hallway. How are you doing?
Right.
Fine. Okay,
Right.
fine. Or we complain about the break room coffee or
Right.
whatever it is. Well, when there's no break room anymore because we're
Right.
all at home, all
Right.
of a sudden you realize that your culture is not built on anything.
Hmm.
And so do you actually genuinely know your people? Do you
Hmm.
know what they're doing, what lights them up? Like, you know, and especially now, even just individually, it's, you need to have these extra things or you'll lose your damn mind.
Right.
Because
Right.
I mean, work is, for some people, it's their dining room table,
Yes.
because homes weren't built for what we're doing right now.
Right.
And so you can't escape it. It's
Right.
always there. And so you need to have those outside of work things. I remember when this all started, like the end of March, somebody had a meme on social media that said, apparently my outside of work, or apparently my hobbies were going to restaurants, because they were closed too, you
Yeah.
know, and going to bars and going to restaurants is now
Yeah.
not a thing. And
Right.
so like, it's having something else, that other dimension to who you are, that really, just from a mental wellness perspective, is just crucial for you as
Right.
an individual. But then as a collective, as an organization, you know, it's really that simple, is just finding out what those things are and then celebrating them and shining a light on them, letting people talk about and share them,
Hmm.
is definitely it. And you know, from an organization perspective, everything is, there's an agenda. Every time we hop on Zoom, it's a meeting that we want to get off
Hmm.
Zoom as quick as possible. There's no water cooler chat
Right.
or,
Right.
hey, Kai, what's going on, man? How's it
Right.
going?
Right.
There's
Right.
none of that anymore.
Right. Right.
And there are, you know, a couple of ways that some companies have done that, which has been cool to see. But for the most part, yeah, it's been a struggle,
Right.
for sure,
Well,
because they're so worried about getting the work done.
right, right. What would you say, as things, we kind of talked about this, before, about things getting back to normal and how people are itching to get back to
Yeah,
that, the normal, I guess, that we're used to.
yeah.
As companies and businesses start to open back up, what do you feel is going to be the biggest challenge for them from a cultural perspective?
Yeah, that's a great question. Uh, I think the biggest challenge is we've all been in each other's homes now.
Yes. You know what my living
And
room looks like now, John.
right,
This is
exactly.
my living room.
Right? That's my home office.
Yeah.
So, you know, and it's like, that's Conan O'Brien, that's me with Lou Holtz,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, my Notre Dame football helmet, like,
Yeah, yeah,
you know, it's my grandpa's old typewriter. You know,
yeah.
it's like we've been in each other's homes now. Like,
Hmm.
and so don't act like you haven't seen the human side
Hmm.
of the people that are around you. Like before, we would show up at work with some sort of a veneer
Hmm.
of, this is my perfect life and this is who I am. I'm
Hmm.
uber professional, whatever person,
Right,
whatever your career is.
right.
but now we've been in each other's homes. Like I've seen your dog going crazy because of
Right.
Amazon delivery, or your kids yelling because they can't connect for home, or like you didn't take a shower this morning because we had an 8 a.m. meeting because some idiot decided to schedule that at 8 a.m. And like just stuff like that.
Right. We've done meetings. We've done meetings with no pants on, John. We've done meetings with no pants on.
Right now,
I have my pajama pants on. I have my pajama pants on, and it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm okay with that.
Hashtag winning.
Yes.
Hashtag winning.
I'm comfortable, damn it. I'm comfortable.
Amen, man. And it's just there's a human, and basically before, like what I work on is bringing that out in the office, in the workspace. And even if you work remotely a lot, even there is just bringing that human side out. And what happened is we just ripped that Band-Aid off.
Yes.
Whether we wanted to or not. And it just got completely ripped off that middle of March. And so let's not act like that didn't happen.
Right.
And let's not, I mean, I know some companies where, like, some departments where the dog became almost like a celebrity. Yeah. It's like, well, we can't have the meeting unless, the dog's here or whatever. And it's like, why would you not keep that going?
Absolutely.
Because it makes it more fun, it makes it more interesting. Plus it just psychologically you're tighter as a group. You really care about each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If somebody asks about my dog, I'm like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like,
and
that's
that for me, it's like, it's my roommate, like, because like people can see when she like walks into the kitchen, people can see that, and they're like, who is that woman that is in your house? Are you okay?
Right.
Are they supposed to be there? Because like she's just kind of casually walking around right now.
Right.
Like, yes, I know her. She's allowed here.
Right. I'm being robbed.
Yeah. Right.
What? It's a good thing you said something.
Oh, I didn't even notice. I'm glad somebody's paying attention here.
Well, it's that level of human connection that oddly, by working away from other people, has allowed us to open that door and show those other dimensions to who we are as people. I think to close that again and is going to be a real shame.
I agree.
So it's definitely, keeping that open.
I agree.
No,
one of the things I saw, I think you alluded to this before. You have a comedy album. You have a comedy album called Outside the Box, which it's been heard on Sirius XM and Pandora. It's available on iTunes and all that.
Play it.
How did that happen? How did you get into like a comedy album? That is awesome.
Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah. So, I was a CPA with PricewaterhouseCoopers, and then at night, just picked up a little bit of a hobby of doing stand-up, just as a creative outlet. Yeah. And that at the time was my I was a CPA and did stand-up comedy and love college football and ice cream. So like, those are all still things that I am very passionate about. Right. And but then started doing stand-up, and then at some point in my career decided to give it a go. It was kind of a perfect storm. I don't advocate that people do this. For most people, your is a hobby that you're probably not very good at, and you can't make a living at, and that's fine. It's totally cool that it's that, because it shouldn't be. Right. And it's way too hard on this side. Like, it's insane. I'm not sure if I would do it again. I mean, I probably would, because now we're talking.
I know, I'm putting it out there in the universe now, and people are going to listen to it, and they're going to be like, I want a John Garret follow-up, please. Let's go.
Right. There's a whole story to all of this. So then, May of 2005, left corporate full-time stand-up. And then lived in New York City for about 10 years. Wrote 2 Emmy-nominated award shows, opened for Louis Anderson, Daniel Tosh, you name it. I've done shows with them.
That's awesome.
Even in New York, I mean, Chris Rock and Seinfeld and Gaffigan, and, shared the stage with all them. Yeah. And then,
sorry, excuse me. Let me pick up the names you just dropped. Excuse me.
Oh, sorry. Well, I mean, it's just, but then there's hundreds that people haven't heard of that are just as funny.
Sure.
Which is a shame. And then I realized I had some cool near misses. So I realized that I'm going to marry my 2 lives together. So it's kind of bringing that stage engagement from the comedy world to corporate. And then that's how it started. And then I was at an event, and along the way I recorded the album. It was at Go Bananas in Cincinnati. And at the time, No Doubt had that BANANAS song.
Yes, yes.
That was great. And so
Gwen
I had a
Stefani.
joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gwen Stefani. Yeah, yeah. And I had a joke about how it was a joke where it was, you were perfect until you spoke. So like you're at a bar or you're at a networking thing and you see somebody and then you go talk to them and you're like, I shouldn't have talked to you. Like, damn it.
You open that door and you're like, I can I close it now?
Yeah,
Can I
you were
close
so
it?
perfect. And so I actually had t-shirts that I sold that said you were perfect until you spoke.
That's amazing.
And so I had this joke about I was at a bar and there were a couple of stories, but one of them was a girl says, my favorite song is by Gwen Stefani because now I know how to spell bananas. BANANAS. And so then at the club, a guy goes, that's how my wife Googled the show, because Go Bananas, she literally out loud put Go.
Oh my gosh.
So it's all on the album. It's fantastic.
I gotta give that a listen, because I happened to see it. I was like, wait a second, pause,
Yeah.
hold your horses.
And there's he has a comedy it's about 10 years old though, so it's been out for a while, but there are still tracks that show up on Sirius and on Pandora. And one is a meme I just saw a couple of weeks ago because I had a joke about how the McRib is the deadbeat dad of the fast food sandwiches because it's gone for 6 months, comes back for a year or two, and a week or two, and we're supposed to be excited. You know, like what the hell? Like filet of fish is here all along, and filet of fish is gross. Like why is not even fish? Yeah, so it was a meme. I actually saw it as a meme, and I'm like,
no way.
Holy crap, this is amazing. Of course, there was no at John Garret or whatever, any sort of that. But yeah, it was like, that's cool.
That might be a good thing, because I think my biggest fear in life is to become a meme. Like I just make like I make a weird face, like. And then all of a sudden, that's just like the face that goes around, and I'm like, but guys, I'm more than just the meme, guys. I'm more than the meme.
Right? I'm not. That's my pinnacle. That, and then now being on Kai Has Friends. This is it. It's all downhill from here. It's all downhill. 2020 was my peak. That's how bad it was.
John, it was a good run, my friend.
Right? Nice knowing you, man.
Oh my God. So let's talk about your book. It's called What's Your That's called a segue, my friend. Yeah, right.
That was an excellent segue.
It's all downhill from here. So let's talk about how we can
prevent shenanigans. Let's be serious. My people want something out of this.
See, that's the perfect segue. Us saying it's all downhill from here. By the way, on our way down, we're gonna bring you with us. Read my book.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome.
So you wrote a book called What's Your And? Unlock the Person Within the Professional. And it's a book that explains how sharing your personal passion improves work performance, builds culture, and strengthens relationships with colleagues and clients. So I want you to talk about What's Your And how did that whole thing come to be for you?
Yeah, it's a little bit of what I alluded to earlier of just, you're a lawyer and a cyclist, you're an accountant and a painter, you're a marketing specialist and love horror movies. Nobody cares about the first part. Like nobody.
Right.
Like even someone has the same job. Like I fly a lot, like we said, and I don't necessarily like to talk to people on planes. Like I
hate it. I don't like talk. Here's the thing, John. What's funny, and this is funny coming from somebody that has a podcast in which I interview people. I don't like talking to people. Like this whole stay in your home for the year thing. I'm in heaven. I love every second of it, because probably the thing that I hate the most, when you go to a store and the associate comes up to you and it's like, hey, we're having all these sales today. I'm like, get out of my face. I'm here for one thing. It's right there. I'm going to go pick it up and I'm going to give you money. You're going to give me that. You're going to put it in a bag. I'm going to walk out. We don't need to say anything at all. That's me. I don't want to talk to anybody.
Right. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. That's I'm very close. I'm very close to that. And it's but on an airplane especially, because I can't go. I can't just leave.
Right. You're just stuck there.
I forgot my parachute. And
we're flying out east today, so it's going to be a long 4-hour flight.
Amen, man. It's definitely So it's hilarious because when people would say, so what do you do? And if I say, oh, I'm a comedian and a speaker, they're like, oh, let me tell you my favorite comedian is. And let me guess, not John Garret. And then they just keep going on and on and on. And I'm just like, but if they go, what do you do? And I say, oh, I'm an accountant. They put on their noise canceling headphones. There's not even a follow-up question.
Right.
Like, which just proves that the and is so much more like
more interesting. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's where connections happen and where those deeper than surface level type things. And it all started, I was speaking at a conference, about 900 people in New Orleans for a huge group. And I was backstage getting mic'd up. The meeting planner comes back and she says, hey, do you know this guy named Mark, last name redacted? And I was like, never heard that name in my life. And she goes, well, he knows you. He saw all the speakers and right away said, I know John Garret. That's the guy who did comedy at night. And I was like, who the hell is this Rain Man?
Yeah.
And like, and I'm getting ready to go on stage. So I'm speaking to 900 people.
Right.
But there's words coming out of my mouth, but the entire time my brain is like, who the hell's this freaking guy?
Right.
Is he gonna like Tanya Harding me like with a bat out of nowhere?
Like meet you in the back, like, come here, let's go. You're not winning the gold medal today, sir.
Do I owe you money? Like, what's happening here? So I come off stage, I went and did the homework. He was in my first PwC office 12 years before that. He remembered me 12 years later, and he was in the tax department, and I don't know how taxes work. So I never worked with him. I never met him. I never went to his floor. Like and yet I'm on a short list of people that he immediately recalls 12 years later.
Interesting.
And so that's how it started. And I was like, and he remembered me for nothing. My resume was really, really strong.
Right.
And he knew none of that. And so I was like, well, am I the only one who had a hobby? Because it's easy to remember one person.
Sure.
You know? But then I started talking to people and I'm like, holy crap. Like, so I did my own research. It's 92% of professionals have an outside of work hobby or passion that they do regularly. 92%. Wow.
Interesting.
So do you know what 92% of your coworkers or 92% of your clients? Like, no, you don't, because we're not talking about it.
Right.
And so that's when I realized, like, there are interesting and cool people around us all the time, but we never take 5 minutes to even just ask, what's your and?
Yeah.
You know, like, what is it that truly lights you up? And I feel like a lot of people are guilty by they feel like they have to say, oh, well, helping my clients. No, it is not.
Right.
That only lights you up because they pay you. Like, you know, I love asking lawyers, hey, like, if I had a lawsuit, like, would you, defend me for free? No. Well, would you pay money to go skiing? Yes. Okay. Well, then skiing is clearly your passion.
Right.
That's what you're paying money to go do. Like,
right.
You know,
that's interesting.
Yeah. And so it's there's these other dimensions to who we are. Then that's how it started. And then it just became me talking to more people, interviewing more people on the podcast, sharing other people that have these outside of work interests, successful professionals of all levels, all the way from CEOs down to interns and everybody in between, and all kinds of different professions. And it's just been so cool to just kind of open the door to give people permission to have other sides to who they are. You don't have to hide it. You don't have to, I mean, provided it's legal.
Right. I was about to say, because some people, I might find out their hobby and I might be like, you know what, I'm just going to stay over here today.
Right. But, but that's, if it's taboo for society or if it's illegal, then, maybe you have a different hobby. But other than that, I mean, like, everything's fine, but it just gives you another dimension to, and especially there's so many benefits to in the workplace where if you as a leader are more human and more vulnerable, people then see you as, well, just go ask Kai. It's not, go ask the guy in the corner office that knows everything. It's it's just Kai. Go talk to him. Like whatever, or Susie, or pick a name. It's just and so there's that plus negative feedback isn't so negative because it's kind of like if your friend pulls you aside and like, man, I know you can do better. I know you're better than this. Right. That's when you develop those relationships to where, I had some managers coming through that my career where the only time they talked to me was to tell me how dumb I was. And, I can't wait to quit. Like, it's like, and because I'm not dumb and I'm not bad, but you messed this up and, well, how about the 100 things that I did right? You want to mention any of those? No. Okay. One time a year where I messed something up. Okay. That's the only time you're going to talk to me. Well, I can't wait to get my resume out, cause like I'm done, and so, and talent is at an all-time premium. I mean, even now after, COVID with, people being laid off, I mean, as soon as business kicks back in, I mean, they're going to be back. So
absolutely,
and so talent's at a premium. And so you have to love the whole person.
Right.
Not just the part that does the work for you.
Right.
You really have to help people, just care about them.
I see. I love that. And here's the cool thing. So the forward to your book was written by the former University of South Carolina head coach and Notre Dame head coach Lou Holtz,
Right.
who now serves as an ESPN college football analyst.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
And how did that even come to be? How did you get that?
Everything in this interview is, so John, wait, what? How? You're just a dude. Like, what the hell, man? Like, who are you?
It's funny because like some people, like when other people treat me the same way sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, wait, Kai, you did this, and this. How the hell? How do you have time to do any of this? Because I saw you yesterday. You were in Denver, and now you wrote a book. Wait, what? What?
Right. I can't wait till tomorrow when people listen to this and they're gonna be like, "You were on Kai Has Friends? What? How? How's Kai your friend?
How is your friend? You just met this guy. Is he really your friend?
How this happened? I'll be like, trust me, we're friends. He doesn't think so, but we're friends. Trust me. Like, I'm outside his bushes right now.
It's right
Here's
there
a
outside.
second roommate.
That's my aunt. My
aunt is stalking Kai.
I knew I recognized you. As soon as you popped up, I was like, oh, you're the guy that stands across the street staring at my window.
Exactly.
Got it. Oh, you're there now. Oh, I can see you. Hey,
right,
man.
Exactly.
What's up,
Exactly. Will you just let me in? For the love of God.
It is raining outside. I do feel, but it is raining outside, so you can come inside.
Yeah. No, so yeah, I mean, I graduated from Notre Dame. Coach Holtz was there my first 3 years. And in my junior year was his last year at Notre Dame. And and I was in the marching band, and he was a huge fan, and still is, of the Notre Dame marching band. It's the oldest college marching band in the country, actually.
Right.
And so he would always come over at the beginning of the season and address us, and which was super cool. I mean, you're the head coach of Notre Dame, you don't have to go over and do that. But yeah, so last year I was speaking at a conference, and I was the close of the first day. He was the opening of the second day.
Oh wow.
Okay. And so I stayed because I normally don't. And then I showed the client this picture that's here of me and Coach Holtz from that was my junior year. Actually, we played Navy in Dublin, Ireland. And so the upperclassmen, half of the band went to perform, plus the football team, and then like big donors. We were right from Chicago to Dublin, and so we're all and so at the airport on the way back, I was like, "Hey, Coach Holtz, can I grab a picture?" So I got the picture, and then so I showed that to him on my phone, and I said, "We've actually met before." And it was funny because everyone there was calling him Lou. Hey, Lou.
Right.
Hey, Coach Holtz. And he was like, holy cow, this is amazing. And I said, yeah, I was in the marching band. And he's like, so he gave me his card, and he said, if you ever need anything,
that's so nice.
Out. And because I'm a Midwesterner, I sat on the card for like 3 months because, we don't ask for help. We just, just work hard. And so, I was wrapping up the book, pretty close to it anyway. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to reach out and see what happens. And the next day his assistant was like, he would love to send what you have. And then about a week later, I got the forward. And then I was like, well, now I have to publish the book because like you can't have, the universe hand you Coach Holtz writing a forward and then you just like throw it away. But yeah, it was awesome. And like, it's, a page and a half, and it just meant a lot for me personally, for him to do that. But he speaks a lot on leadership and taking care of your people and things like that. So our messages kind of run parallel, which was cool. So it's not just rando college football coach.
Right.
Somebody that also walks the talk.
Right.
Which was cool. So yeah,
that's so neat.
Yeah,
that's so cool. I'm gonna write Barack Obama, and I'm gonna see if he wants to write the forward to my book. I'm gonna take the chance and be like, hey man, you don't know who I am. We've never met before. But
worst case scenario, I mean, it's the whole old Wayne Gretzky quote of, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Amen.
So right now it's a no. And then if he says yes,
Barack Obama, he's listening right now, obviously, because he listens to my podcast.
Obviously, because we're BFFs. I texted him. I was like, yeah. I was like, if you want, I can help you become friends with Kai. He's like, will you? And I was like, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, I think he's at Barack. I call him Barack. I call him Barry because we're really close. And I said, hey man, if you ever want to come on the show, let me know. I'm going to write the forward to his new book. So he owes me. He owes me. So.
I love it. I love it.
So like
That's awesome.
So John,
That's awesome.
who inspires you? Like all of the stuff that you've been doing in your life and all of that. Who are some people that inspire you and keep you going?
You know, that's kind of a hard question because I don't know if like not it's more of an internal thing.
Sure.
It really is. I mean, I do love hearing other people's stories of, you know, overcoming things and overcoming adversity and things like that. And like, I mean, my life by no means has been like smooth sailing,
sure.
You know, by any means. So, you know, but I think it's more of an internal drive, really. And it, you know, it's great that people do have other things. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess, you know, growing up, probably my grandfather, I mean, he was D-Day plus 12 and liberated several concentration camps and all this. And, you know, just learning a lot from him without him ever telling me. Right. It was just learning from just absorbing. Right. You know, that was definitely an influence on me. But as far as a motivation goes, I mean, it's an internal thing for me where, you know, no matter how many great things or stories you hear or, you know, people that help you or whatever, like you still have to do the work. Right. You still, like, you know, Coach Holtz writes the foreword. Well, he didn't write my book. Like I still had to spend 2 years writing that. Right. You know, and another 2 years before that, like formulating ideas before I did. So, you know, so it's more of an internal thing. I don't know if that makes me like a total jerk, but
no.
I wish I had.
It just means you evaded the question, which means that we're not friends. So I'm kidding. Well, no, I know it makes perfect sense.
Ice cream is definitely a huge motivation. If you're going to ask me what motivates me, chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream.
I have to say, I am a big fan of Italian food. That keeps me going.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if we're going to get down to it.
Yeah. Right. So I'm going to play a quick game with you. I play this with all my guests. What I do is I say a word, and all you have to do is just say whatever comes to mind. It could be another word. It could be a sentence. It could be a person, whatever you want. I'm just going to say a word, and you just have to like say what comes to mind.
Can I use the same word for all of them?
Yes, you could. I actually, the person that I interviewed, her name is Christina. I interviewed her earlier this week, and she used the same word for like 3 or 4 of them. But it made sense. It was perfectly fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's perfect.
Right now, all I'm thinking is ice cream. So like, it's going to be hard to get off this. So, like,
your word is dinosaur. Ice cream. I guess.
Ice cream. Yeah. Totally ice cream.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah, ready.
All right, here we go. First word: peace.
Peace. Love.
Power.
Oh, struggle.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good one. Mindfulness. Yeah, that works. That's fair. There's no right or wrong answers here, unless you say ice cream.
Something frozen.
Yeah, right. Oh God, no. Frozen milk. I don't know. Right. Strong.
Oh, weak.
Motivated.
Kai.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you, sir.
We're friends again.
We're friends. Again. You're back on the friends list. I'll allow it. Begin.
Oh, yeah. Start.
Mm-hmm. Love.
I suck at this.
No, you're doing a good job. There's no right or wrong answers, my friend.
Love. Happiness.
Good. Secure.
Ooh. Shelter.
Mm-hmm. Adventure.
Oh, like cliff diving.
Nice. Okay. Would you do that?
I have to an extent. I mean, not like stupid high cliffs, but like 30
like,
feet or so.
I jumped off my couch. Feet. Jumped off my couch one day. It was great. It was fun.
I've skydived.
I skydived too. That was totally. Yeah. I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah.
Can't wait. And the last one is culture.
Culture. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. What word comes to mind? Corporate, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but it makes sense because that it fits for what you do, right? And what you focus on. So there is no right or wrong answers here.
Yeah.
So you did well. You passed the test.
All right.
What
I feel like I was going to pass it. You're too kind.
Well, you said you're from the future. You said you're from the future, so you already know how this ends up. So it's fine. What advice would you give to people who are struggling to I guess just make the most of their culture right now? Like if they're struggling, like this is just something like for their business and
Yeah.
their staff. If you could give one piece of advice to them for 2020, what would you say to them if they're listening right now?
Well, I mean, it's a huge mountain to climb. So you're
Mm-hmm.
not going to climb it in a day. So it's just, ask your people what your and is. And if you're the
Mm-hmm.
leader of that group, share your and
Mm-hmm.
lead by example.
Mm-hmm.
We're so permission based. So even if you
Mm-hmm.
tell people they can do it, they're still going
Yeah.
to be like, I don't know
Right.
about
Right.
that. So do it first, lead by
Right.
example, and then make it safe for people to go second and
Yeah.
third, because then it becomes routine. If you
Mm.
do it on your own, well, that's great.
Right.
But make it safe and easy for someone to go second and then
Mhm.
third and then fourth. And, just get people to share that and see that it's safe and okay and
Sure.
actually a good thing.
Sure.
So,
John, what is next for you? You've done so much. You've done great things. What is next? What's next on your to-do list?
you're awfully kind, man. Thank you so much. Yeah. I mean, it's really just, launch the book. It just came out a
Mhm.
month ago, and
Mhm.
keep that going and spread the word on that. And then it's just, speaking at more conferences and doing the
Mhm.
consulting piece to help people implement it. It's
Yeah.
simple, but not easy.
Mhm.
And so, sometimes people need a little bit of help or a little bit of accountability to make this normal.
Right.
So
And
that's
your and
really
your and your book is
building.
it's available, on like Amazon and like all any kind of like major online retailer that
Yeah,
sells books. It's
Amazon,
available.
barnesandnoble.com,
Mhm.
bookshop.com. It's also the ebook version. The
Yeah.
Audible version will be out early 2021.
Right. Right.
And yeah,
That's
it's
so
all at
weird. That's
what's
so
your
weird.
end.
I didn't get my invite to do the audio for your book. That's so weird. Maybe the invitation's still in the
It was
mail.
coming after the podcast was over.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. I
I
understand.
figured you'd be so busy writing the foreword for Barry's new book that you wouldn't have time to read mine. Like,
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I take it now. Friends, the book is called What's Your And? Unlock the Person Within the Professional. And it's available wherever books are sold, wherever you get your books. You can go get it. Go get it online.
yeah, online.
Yeah, go get it online. It's there. It's easy to purchase. Where can people get more information about Mr. John Garret?
Yeah, it's super easy. What'syourand.com. It makes it super easy. That goes to the podcast and the book, and right there in the website, I have some music video parodies that I do as
Nice.
well. They're all kind of office. If Weird Al Yankovic was an accountant and worked in corporate, that's pretty much what these are.
Yeah.
They're all highly produced and I think pretty funny. So
Nice, man.
yeah, so what'syourand.com. Everything's there.
Awesome. Well, John, I appreciate you taking the time out of your morning to sit with me and to talk with me. And I will say it. Cheers, my friends. You are officially a friend. And I purposefully am drinking out of this cup today.
I saw that. I saw you representing.
I'm
There you go.
purposely drinking out of this cup today for you, John. See, these are the things that I do for you because you are my friend.
No, you're too kind, man. You're too kind. And,
for those of you that don't know what I'm holding up right now, this right here is the state flag coffee cup of Colorado, Denver, Colorado,
Right.
where John currently resides.
I think
yeah.
It's same amount of state pride as New Jersey. Just your flag's not as cool.
It's not as cool,
So,
but
yeah.
don't. We have a lot of pride in our state, damn it.
No, you do. New
Yes,
Jersey
we
has a
do.
lot of pride.
Hell
New
yeah.
Jersey, Texas, and Colorado, and then
Oh,
everybody
yeah.
else is like, whatever.
Yeah, it's like they're like, I guess I live here. Like you don't hear about
Yeah.
Delaware state pride from
No,
anybody
no.
except for Joe Biden. That's it. Like nobody's
No,
like,
even
I'm
then.
from Delaware.
Yeah. Even then, he's more Amtrak pride. I
That's
feel
right.
than Delaware. It's just like
He's like, I've been through Delaware. I tell people, I'm like, Delaware is a really nice little town. It's a nice little town. It's a nice
It's
town.
like a county.
Has one little main street. It's nice. It's cute.
Right.
It's a cute
Right,
thing.
right.
Oh, by the
Yeah.
way, I just lost all of my Delaware viewership. It's out the window. All 12 of them.
Oh man, there's
All
7 of them gone. Oh my god, that's amazing.
They hate me. Watch, I'm gonna look at my stats, and I'm gonna come to
Right.
find out my biggest contingent of listeners are from
Rehoboth Beach
Delaware.
just hammering away on my Twitter right now. Get back to the boardwalk.
Oh my
Get out
God.
of here.
My viewership just goes down. Come to find out, all of my listeners are from Delaware. Oh, damn it.
Well, you're welcome, Kai. You're welcome. Why'd you stop your podcast? Well, I had this John Garret idiot on, and then Delaware.
Delaware. That's like, did I say more? Just Delaware. Delaware happened.
Delaware. Like,
oh man. Anyway, John, thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure you guys, if you're listening, if you're watching right now, go get his book. What's Your And? Unlock the Person Within the Professional. Listen to his podcast, the What's Your And podcast. Visit his website, what'syourand.com. Follow him on social media. Do all of that stuff. I promise you, you're not going to regret it. And then if you want, you can also follow me on my social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Vibe with Kai. And you can also follow me on TikTok and on Snapchat at Kyrus Keenan. And visit my website, thevibewithkai.com, where I'm always posting blogs, videos, reviews, and things that'll help you do good, feel good, be good, and live a good life full of good vibes. Mr. John Garret, my guest, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. As always, God bless and good vibes.
Thanks, man.